Hello everybody, welcome back to day 3 of grade 12 trial exam prep weeks. Today I'm doing a derivatives question. Many of you asked for calculus. I'll be doing more calculus videos tomorrow, but just for today, this 4-mark question from last year's November exam paper, they're asking us for the derivative of this whole expression that is in these square brackets. Now, just in terms of notation, when we are going to still be simplifying the expression in these brackets, we need to keep writing d of x and then have our square brackets. Only once we actually find the derivative are we not going to write d of x and these brackets. Now, the reason, or the rule rather, that we have for finding the derivative is that if you have a function in this form, so y or whatever the function is called, they don't even have to tell you what it's called, they can just give you the function. But just for now, if it's called y and it's in this form where you have a, which is a number, so the coefficient, x, which is your variable, and then an n, an exponent, we need to write every single term in these square brackets in this form, because then we can use the rule which states that dy over dx, so the derivative of the function y, in terms of our variable x, that's why it's at the bottom, is going to be n times a. So you take the exponent, you multiply it by the coefficient of x, then you're going to have your same x, and then the new exponent is going to be 1 less than the original one. So your exponent is going to become n minus 1. So we need to write both terms in this expression in that form. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to keep writing dx and have our square brackets. Now this first term, I'm going to do it in multiple steps. First, we just need to kind of take out that denominator of 2. So I'm going to write this as negative a half and then the cube root of x. You don't have to do this in 2 steps like I am doing it. I'm just going nice and slowly so that everyone can follow along. So negative a half rather, not a half, negative a half times the cube root of x is the same as negative cube root x over 2. I'm writing it in this form because I need a coefficient. Next up, plus. Now this bracket is squared, so I have to square the numerator, so 1 squared is 1, and the denominator is going to give me 9x squared. Then I'm going to close my square brackets. I'm not quite there yet. I still need to do some work in order to get it in the right form before I can find the derivative. So I'm going to keep writing dx. This cube root of x, I'm now going to write as x to the power of a third. And now we have that in the correct form in order for us to apply our derivative rule. The next one, I'm going to, again, it's almost like you're taking out that fraction. And then at the bottom, we still had an x squared. So now I need to write that as x to the power of negative 2. Now I can apply my derivative rule. So I'm going to take my exponent, multiply it by the coefficient that I had, and then I'm going to minus 1 from that exponent. So now, like I said, because we are actually doing the derivative, we are no longer going to be writing dx. We're going to say negative a half times a third. That's negative 1 over 6. And we're going to have our x. Now we're going to say a third minus 1, which is going to give us negative 2/3. You can use your calculator for that if you are unsure. Next up, we're now going to take this second exponent, so the negative 2, and multiply it by 1 over 9. That's going to give us negative 2 over 9. We're going to have our x, and now the original exponent, which was negative 2, we need to subtract 1 from that. It's going to give us negative 3. Now we're almost there, guys. The last step is we need to make sure that all our exponents are positive. So this one, I'm going to leave it as negative, and then the 6 at the bottom now also is going to have x to the power of 2 over 3, and we need to put that 1 at the top. For the second fraction, it's a minus in front. At the bottom, I'm now going to have 9x to the 3, and just that 2 at the top.